Pros, guys. We'll cam off again. That last game was stressful. That was because there's a cheater in it, so. They usually like going in the boat chill thing, so we might as well just go and mark this with shit to begin with. Might eat some. No, it didn't. Guys. Try again. You can barely, like, when you go to mouse 2, you can barely do it. Like, I try to swing, and the time between, like, when you swing it and when you don't, it takes forever. Dropped. That was with the tippity tip there. That was incredibly close. It actually felt like it should hit. He's fucked, though. See, now, like, if I had a hook here... Like, if I had a hook here, like, I potentially actually do more with it, right? I don't. Here, let me get a hit on you, too. Hey, buddy. What if I go over here? Do we have the kill dungeon here? We do, actually. Okay. Unfortunately, he's about to get up. Yeah. See, now, like, I'd basically be forfeiting this, right? If I, like, want to use his hooks, I have to forfeit this shit. That's a big deal. Why would I do this? Like, you get so much pressure from, intentionally doing the right hooks. It is incredible that you'd ever want to give it up. Obviously, Steve's around here. Hey, look, guys, Jonah just 4% off the hook immediately. Hi. We aren't gonna chase him, we're gonna chase Claude. I'm pretty sure he's cheating, so. Okay. She have DS, I guess? She might have head on, too. I kind of doubt it. No, I don't know what that was. Yeah, Jonah, I think's cheating, so. We're gonna wait now. Kind of unbreakable. I don't have any pulls on him. Jonah realized I wasn't gonna chase him, and then he came back because he realized he fucked up. Jonah might have unbreakable here too. Okay. Okay. Like he wants me to hit him so he can make a trade here. Is what's going on right now. Oh. Now he can't grab anymore, or he can't actually unhook. Now we wait for his 4% of deliverance. That is absolutely phenomenally managed KD, guys. That is beautiful. This is a thing of beauty right there. If you aren't getting that right now. Yeah. KD is my fucking home. You don't go into my fucking home and demand me to do what you want. That's my house. That's where I live. in the basement. Yeah. That is you occasionally get to see my skill from degenerate hours, guys. Not all the time, but mainly because they usually won't actually try to save. But yeah, Jonah just 4% immediately off the hook and saves. What the fuck is that shit? We're gonna highlight that, by the way. Breakable Soul Guard. 2 OTRs. There's a Soul Guard. Nothing to get her off the ground, though. What? The fuck is that? So what is Claudette doing here? Calm Spirit. I guess maybe she doesn't know what she's doing. Actually, that's Calm Spirit. That's not even Soul Guard. No, it has another hand. It's not the same hand, though. Yeah, but once again, I could have done that with any killer, so it didn't do anything. But being Executioner in that game did absolutely nothing for me besides look cool. Yeah, S tier. Oh my god, it's S tier. So, like, any 115 killer could have done exactly the same thing, because that had nothing to do with what killer I was playing. It had everything to do with my own personal skill in that case. Oh, like I said, guys, one of the reasons that we stopped doing basement, one of the reasons we stopped doing the kill dungeon is because people generally won't go for a save. If you're really good at it, especially if they know who you are, they'll just leave them down there to die. But, yeah, that Jonah, kind of fucking weird. Yeah, Jonah was sus as shit. Everyone else was legit, but Jonah had some weird shit. Yeah. S-tier killer, guys! Oh my god, did you see that 4K? Oh my god! So one of the kind of curious things, obviously you guys know, right? Obviously you guys know, so this isn't necessarily for you guys because you watch me. But one of the things people mistake is when they think when you do a 4K with the killer or 3K, that means the killer's good, right? But objectively, we can look at that match and nothing actually happened with any of my powers that contributed to my success. The only checkbox that this killer had to be was a 115. And otherwise, everything else was just my personal skill and me just being really good at the basement, right? We hit no most 2s. We put down poo, they walked in it, but I didn't actually cage anyone, so it didn't fucking matter, or execute them for that matter. And that's it. Everything else was just most 1, basic most 1, 115 killer. So, that literally had nothing to do. I could have done this with any other 115, I could have done this with Pig. With any other 115 killer, it would have been the same result in this match. And probably would have been faster because I wouldn't have wasted time on that fucking pallet at the beginning of the match trying to hit the Jonah, right? Who just seemed to know exact. He's fucking. I mean, it's not hard to dodge his mouse too, but yeah, he was right on top of that shit. And it also feels like you can only flick so far when you go to mouse 1. It only feels like you can flick so far with this guy before the game stops you. Like when you go to mouse 1 and like you try to flick it really hard, you only can flick so far. You can only turn so far before the game won't let you. It actually feels like there's an angle like this, in which when you go to flick and hit, you can only turn so far before you literally can't turn farther than that. So I think there's some sort of turning metric too, where you can only turn so far so fast, and then the game just stops you from doing so. Like I've tried flicking pretty hard, and it doesn't change anything. It only goes to the side. And it's like an area like this. From where I'm looking to when I flick is like this. What's a good way? That angle wise, it's like a 35-degree angle, like that. Maybe 45-degree angle. A 90 is like this, right? 90 degrees, 45 is like this. It's like 35, 40-degree angle in which you can't flick past it, and it won't let you change. This guy has a lot of problems. People might say this is a good tunneler and camper. It's not. He's just, regardless of his cages, which are kind of cool, he has a lot of downsides to his character. People can walk through your poo. Let's start with that. People can walk through your poo, which makes it kind of pointless, despite the fact that the poo isn't even that strong. When you do actually cage someone, they go across the map from you, and obviously cages have pros and cons, meaning that they can just go off. They can just get people out of it. If you cage someone from across the map, despite the fact that they'll get unhooked almost immediately, like, you have to find them again, right? And you could go to a cage, and you potentially could possibly try and camp it, but even if you camp it, his mouse 2 is so horrid. His mouse 2 is so horrid, the only time that you really can make good shots with his mouse 2 is when you are at either camping a cage, or camping a hook, at long range, or if they go down a corridor. If they go for a normal window vault, like say a window like this, if they go for a normal window vault and it's not in a tunnel area, they go for a normal window vault, they can either spin you outside, they can dodge the attack outside the window vault, or inside the window vault, or they can dodge it outside the window vault. So either direction, when you go to hit it, they can dodge on either side of it. That means the only time that you can potentially hit people is with a cheeky around the corner, where you hit someone when they go around the corner, you attack them. But if someone's good, they can listen for the sound and they can just rotate out, because they'll assume that you can properly lead. If you're a good killer, you can properly lead them, so they'll just rotate out. We have hit people with that attack, but once you go against good survivors, they can just easily dodge it, so kind of pointless. His mouse 2 is a very shitty nemesis whip. Very, very shitty nemesis whip. Let's see. His mouse 2 in general has some issues with it, mainly that when you put your stick in the ground, it fucks with your aim for whatever reason. It fucks with your aim. Then you can only put the stick in the ground for so long before you have to pull it out. You have to put it in and pull it out, guys, because you run out of poo juice. Unfortunately, you can't use the poo juice whenever you want, so you can't just put it in the ground, because when you put it in the ground, you become 110, by the way. You become a 110 killer. So you can't just put it in the ground, not drop poo on the ground, not poo, and just go around with it on the ground, and just be a 110, right? But the ability, the upside there would be you can more easily just go for attack. But even if you just do that, which I tried doing that for a little bit in Kill Shack, for instance, even if you do that, they can still dodge you on the inside or outside of the window. His poo attack, or his mouse 2 attack, is just too long. It takes too long to go off from the time that you actually hit it to when it gets to the survivors, and it doesn't matter how close you are to them. Even though it has a travel distance, it's the time between when the sound goes off and when it actually can approach their position. It's way, way, way too long. So even if you update it and make it so he can put a stick in the ground in and out whenever he wants, and then he just uses poo juice when he wants when it's in the ground, that still wouldn't make up for the fact that it takes forever for the attack to go off in the first place and people can get around it. So he definitely needs some updates. He needs some work here, guys. I classify him as a C tier killer. B being the bare minimum to go up against a high MMR squad and do well. He depends on survivors being dumb. And you can't reliably put poo on people too. So even though you have your cages, you can't always use cages, especially if they don't want you to, right? They just dodge the poo. They just won't let you go. They won't let them go in the poo. We had the game earlier in the junkyard where I could have downed that guy. I think was cheating, but I could have downed him easier by just mouse 1 chasing him. Me actually going for those mouse 2s hurt me a lot more than it helped. Even though I was going for them when you're about the vault or in the middle of the vault, it doesn't matter. They can get you on inside or outside of the vault. So, I think we're done with Executioner, guys. He is a shit killer. He's not, like, super horrible. He's not Sadako horrible. He's pretty bad, though. I would not play against him, play him against high MMR squads. He's exactly what I thought he was going to be, having played against him back when I was a Survivor main. He's just not good. He's a C-tier killer. And as such, he doesn't work. Yeah, I'd say he's even worse than Pig. I'd say he's worse than Pig. I think Pig has the benefit of her masks. I think he is a worse killer than Pig. Pig I also think is C-tier, but I think is higher up in the list than he is. Because in that case, with the last game, if we had masks, we could have masked people in the dungeon, right? We could have masked them when we downed them. We could have masked the Jonah upstairs. And that would have worked to our benefit. Everything that happened in that game was just because I perfectly managed the kill dungeon, right? I perfectly managed that dungeon. So, I don't think he works. I think